'Cause all of the waves, they keep chasing after me. Even though we are out of reach, I can feel the water on my feet. The things that you said to me, they will grow inside, they make believe. I am still dancing on the feelings that you gave me. I am still dancing on the feelings that you give me.
I know you're a monster. I know you're a monster. And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Those Two Nerds, episode 20, the inaugural 20th episode of Those Two Nerds. I am the beautiful Vera Coach, and I am always joined by the also handsome and gorgeous Nick Displays Games. So,
I think our intro video did not play for the masses.
no, it did. It did. So the intro video actually played its own sound.
Oh, but it played through the.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
but we just heard it.
Yeah,
because
we could hear it. Glad
the speakers are actually still on.
Yeah, glad we didn't turn on the microphone itself, because that would have been double echo. And
that would have been embarrassing.
Yep.
You don't know the power
kind
of the
everything's
dark
going
side.
pretty well. Eric Tarsha from work, thank you for the nice little, was that a like? Or no, that's a follow. That means he is not busy at work right now. I'm just kidding. No. We'll kind of do a quick recap of episode 19. We talked about your top 5 Christmas list.
Yeah.
For, the special nerdy loved one in your life, or maybe just a family member in general. So, we talked about that. We talked about a little bit about D&D. We talked about our podcast starting up with D&D starting soon.
That hasn't happened yet, but it will.
Yeah, we're still tentative on it. But other than that was pretty much it.
Recap last week was a little, I wouldn't say slow as far as news and stuff, but it was, it's Christmas time and in the city. And all you hear is silver bells or something.
Yeah, you got the kettles. You got kettles playing with the Salvation Army and stuff like that. But we'll kind of jump into things this week. A lot to talk about.
Oh my gosh, was it a busy week?
Yeah, from the Free Guy trailer coming out, the Ghostbusters trailer.
How good was that trailer?
It was really good. So in my thought, I was thinking it was going to be like the remake, like with all the old cast members from the original Ghostbusters.
I like that it's a sequel, though.
Yeah, I'm glad that they got the guy from Ant-Man. I can never remember the actor's name.
Paul Rudd, yeah.
Glad they got him.
That weird little kid from, was it? Maybe Stranger Things?
Maybe, yeah.
I don't remember.
So
but he's good.
Yeah, they got an all-star cast. I think it's gonna be a good movie. I think it's gonna be a lot better than the female Ghostbusters. Nothing against them. It was
you know what the best part of the female Ghostbusters movie was Chris Hemsworth.
I thought you were about to say the ending credits.
No, actually, Chris Hemsworth was hilarious in that movie. He was really funny. He actually showed that he had good comedic timing and good punchline delivery, and you can see that when he plays Thor, right?
Yeah.
But he wasn't playing Thor; he was playing someone different. So it's kind of nice to see that he's genuinely just a funny guy. So
I heard something about Ghostbusters. What's the guy that they hire in Ghostbusters, the original?
The fourth guy they got,
Yeah.
that was Winston.
Okay, so Winston was actually supposed to be played by Eddie Murphy.
Is that true?
Yeah. So what happened is they had the original cast, and then the one guy died. So they were supposed to get Eddie Murphy, but by that time, when the movie, Eddie Murphy was too expensive, because that's right when his comedy tour pretty much just blew up.
Well, Eddie Murphy was huge in the 80s.
Yeah.
That guy had, I forget how many movies, and a lot of them were really good.
Yeah.
Plus, he was still doing stand-up, and he had just come off of Saturday Night Live.
Could you imagine Eddie Murphy as Winston?
Maybe, because I love Winston in the movie. Ernie Hudson, that's his name.
Yeah.
But I feel like he, for the most part, kind of played second fiddle because they already had Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
And those three guys are
hilarious,
right? And then you bring in this other guy, Winston, played by Ernie Hudson, and it's like they didn't know what to do with him. The scenes that he's in are really funny.
Yeah.
Especially when he's talking to them about when they're using the metaphor about the Twinkie or whatever, and he's like, "That's a big Twinkie." I'm like, man, that's funny. It's not even the way that it's not the line, right? It's how the line is delivered.
Yeah.
That it's funny. Because they were all just sitting there having a smoke, Yeah. And
I think the movie. I love Ghostbusters. I love the original Ghostbusters.
Huge fan.
Yeah,
huge fan.
It's still every time I think of nostalgic movies like that, just like movie staples. I think in everybody's classes.
It's timeless, right?
Yeah. I always think about the what if, John Candy and Tommy Boy, the guy that plays Tommy Boy, Chris Farley.
Chris Farley.
If they made a movie together. I always think about that.
Man, because I mentioned that the one time we were hanging out. I was like, how good would it be, Chris Farley and John Candy as his dad, or
Like an Uncle Buck type.
like
thing.
an Uncle Buck sequel or something,
Yeah.
or not even a sequel. Just put those guys in anything. Like I'd like to watch them be detectives, like solving crimes, right? Like a buddy cop movie with.
They could have been the other guys. That could have been.
But like, yeah, but it would have been better. No offense to Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg is surprisingly funny for someone who's not a comedian.
Yeah.
Not by trade. I'm not gonna say that he's not a comedian.
he's funny.
That's not his job. Like he started out as a musician, then he did acting, and like he's a fine actor. I have nothing against Mark Wahlberg, but he's funny.
Yeah.
He's funny in the same way that De Niro is funny. He's funny because he's not funny. He's very unfunny. But when you put him in funny situations, he kind of sells the awkwardness of him being
for
funny.
sure.
So
I like Daddy's Home with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell.
Yes.
Both of them were hilarious, and then John Cena is like their ultimate counter, like the kryptonite to both of them.
I didn't like the second one as much, but it was good.
Oh, yeah.
And Mel Gibson was in it, and man, Mel Gibson had some funny parts in that movie.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't my favorite. I thought the first one was really funny,
Oh, yeah.
and the second one was a little bit too.
I think
It was too National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, but not classic. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And maybe I'll have a different appreciation for it in
later years.
5 or 10 years. But it had such a good cast. I mean, Mel Gibson, John Lithgow, John Cena was in it, and then you have obviously Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell.
Oh, I loved Will Ferrell's dad, because that dude's hilarious. By
John
far.
Lithgow.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't go wrong with those movies. But I feel like there's like a point you can hit with like having a ton of big name celebrities in a movie. Like once I feel like you hit too many, you especially in a funny movie,
It's
you can
hard.
lose.
Because I don't feel like if you give enough of those guys time to shine on screen, then you're not showcasing what makes them great actors. And John Lithgow is one of the best. I mean, if anyone was like, "Oh, he's not a funny guy," then you clearly didn't watch Third Rock from the Sun. That's a funny show. Like that is a funny show. But he's also been in some movies like Raising Cain. I think that came out in like the 90s, where he's kind of crazy. He has like a split personality or something. And then he spoiler alert, by the way, this is like 8-9 years old now. He played the serial killer in the one season of Dexter. Oh man, he was terrifying in that.
Yeah.
So for a guy to be able to go like, "Hey, I'm really funny," and I'm like that relative that you can relate to, or just like an every guy that you can relate to being a serial killer, like a methodical serial killer, and sell it and like convince you, that's acting.
Oh, for sure. Well, I was gonna say that's probably it for like our movies.
Yeah, I mean, like we went off for like 10 minutes on stuff that is not even.
That was not in our script.
But no, we actually, I wouldn't say scripted, but we have a few topics that we would like to
for sure
discuss. But the Ghostbusters is kind of what started it, and Ghostbusters Afterlife comes out in 2020. The year escapes me. I'm not sure exactly what year it is coming out, but we're looking forward.
Well, did you see John Wick 4 and Matrix 4?
How are they going to do a fourth?
They come out
Matrix?
on the same day.
Man, there's going to be so much testosterone in the air.
You're not wrong.
I'm a Keanu Reeves fan.
Yeah.
I have no idea how they're going to make a sequel to The Matrix, like the Matrix trilogy.
You're not wrong.
And honestly, I felt that the first Matrix, they should have just left it alone. I loved the other two Matrix movies; they were okay, but it just didn't have that same kind of magic as the original Matrix.
Yeah. And I think you're kind of right when it comes to that. Like I've only seen the first two.
Yeah.
And they're not bad. Like I said, the first one blows the second one out of the water. Just because
It's night and day.
Yeah. So, but the John Wick 4, they're never gonna let this guy die. He's just.
How do you think that the series is going to end, though?
He dies.
I feel like eventually that's the only way out, right? Because that guy's just never going to get any peace.
I think the only way you could do like a really crazy like flip would be have his wife not actually be dead.
I feel like that would sell everything that he did. It would make it lesser.
Okay.
If they pulled a twist like that, honestly, I think that the fans would be mad. But I would be okay with him maybe finding a new lady. Because, I mean, it's been a little while since his wife passed. And I understand that he was in love with his wife. But I also understand why they didn't.
Yeah, Kronos, she's dead. No,
Right?
she's dead. Yeah, no, I don't know. The only way you can have him die, just have him die. Make it the most valiant
I
death
feel
ever.
like, he almost, that's the only way out. The end game would be death.
Like, he wins. He beats it all.
Yeah.
But he dies. He
Yeah,
took
but
too
he
much. He did everything he needed to do in the final end of the movie, and that was it. He took out everybody.
I mean, a lot of people weren't as thrilled with the third movie, but I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought that the action sequences were very well done. I thought that the creative ways that they came up with killing people was pretty good.
He didn't take too much. He had too much taken from him. You're not wrong.
Yeah, you're
I mean,
not
this guy
wrong.
was done dirty, but
and every time he's like, I just want to be left alone. I kind of just want to live my life. And then something else, brought him back out. And then
Okay.
he gets screwed. Like, they basically screw him in the last one. Sorry for anyone who hasn't seen it. That's pretty much what happens.
Yeah.
And now they're talking about doing a TV show based on the world, not John Wick, but the world of John Wick.
Oh, like the killings and all.
The guild or whatever.
That'd be sweet. I think that would be a good
I would
movie.
watch that. It's a TV show they're talking about.
Yeah, that would definitely
Like,
be good.
I definitely would watch that. Let's see. Julia says John Lithgow played Winston Churchill in the Netflix original series The Crown, and he's really good. Like that. I mean, he's just an amazing actor.
Oh, for sure. He always kind of reminds me of like the grandpa from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got that vibe to him. The only thing that he did was his own fault, was killing the prince. Oh, but he deserved it.
Yeah, dude, that dude needed to die. No one felt bad for that. The only thing we did was like, John, what'd you do? But we related. We were like, yep. Mm-hmm. But it was dumb.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw it and he like went to the same place that they killed the first girl for trying to attack people on the grounds, because there's no hunting on the grounds, continental grounds, and they killed her. I mean, they had like 9 people come out and just basically shoot her.
Just basically, that's it. That's the end.
So I thought that was gonna happen.
He
to
even
John.
gave him like the opportunity he gave him like a fighting chance, but that whole thing was basically like a ploy for power, is what you can kind of tell, and he basically used him as a means to either change the way things are, or in like a weird political sort of sense in their little politics. But yeah, John got done dirty. He's been done dirty in every movie. The only way that this series ends is with John killing everybody and then him dying, or he basically just eliminates the guild people and they establish new rules for the guild. Maybe he becomes like the president or the king or whatever, but he doesn't seem like he's the type that would want it anyway.
Yeah, I think the head dude, the guy that runs the guild, that's who kills him.
Yeah, he says, imagine he becomes the one above the table, right? Like, he's the guy calling all the shots, but I don't think he wants that. Maybe he could appoint someone to do it, but I don't think he wants
He needs a secretary.
He needs a secretary. But yeah, we're excited for that. John Wick and Matrix, and there's a lot of cool stuff coming out next year. So many good
movies. I mean, you have Star Wars coming out in 5 days.
5 days.
5 days, Friday. We will be seeing it that day. Like I said to all you guys, we'll be waiting 2 weeks before we release any spoilers on our end. You probably will hear way before us, but we're given 2 weeks. So you have 2 podcasts.
You have 2 more podcasts after this one.
To watch it. And once that hits, our mouths will no longer be sealed. And we will not be posting spoiler warnings.
We will do the best that we can to not be spoiler-ish. But if we want to talk about something,
it's just got to happen.
Come on, I think 2 weeks is enough. Other than being very vague, like, oh, that part in the movie where that thing happened, you remember with the lightsaber? And then he's like, yeah, that was really cool.
You remember Star Wars?
That's about as vague as we're going to get.
Yeah.
I love the member berries. That's
one
of my favorite parts of Star
another
Wars.
really cool thing, speaking of like just all-star things going on, let's talk about the All-Stars at the Game Awards.
Game Awards, yeah, let's talk about that. So that took place this year, Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday, I believe it was the 12th.
12th, yeah.
It was the 5th annual. So if anyone ever knows, like, they always had like an award thing where people voted on the games and they would give them an award. Like, we've been playing games for a long time, and games would be like Game of the Year, Game of the Year contender or whatever. So the one guy who basically hosts the show, I can't remember his name. He decided that he wanted to do an award ceremony. Every year it's gotten a little bit bigger and a little bit better, and I've watched it the last probably 4 years. But this was the first year that I actually hosted a watch party on Facebook. I made predictions while we were doing the show. Honestly, a lot of my predictions were pretty damn good, and I called Game of the Year before they even had, got that far into the show. But the Game Awards this year, I thought that I can't say that the lineup was weak. There was a lot of really smaller games, I think, that got the spotlight. Sony and I think Microsoft both did not have a lot of exclusive stuff coming out, but Nintendo did, and they had it in spades. You know what I mean? Like, they had a ton.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, just kind of looking at what you have posted up with, like, the best RPG, best family game, best fighting game, best strategy, and best action game.
That's just a few of the highlights, right? So we're not going to cover all of them. But if you'll notice, there's quite a few Nintendo titles up there, like Nintendo exclusive titles. And that's not just because I'm a Nintendo fanboy.
He is a fanboy.
But there was one category, which was the best family game, where the only people that had any entries in it was Nintendo. And Luigi's Mansion ended up winning. It's on the screen.
And I was going to say, Luigi's Mansion, I mean, I've seen people play it. I personally have not yet to play it, but I've just watched a ton of people play it. And they have endless rant and rave about how great this game is. Seriously, if you have a Switch, this is a good one to pick up.
And if you have a family, if you have a little brother or
it's like a good
cousin,
it's like a good party game. Like
it's fun to watch too.
Yeah, it's not very boring.
The one that like really crosses the boundaries for me though is Smash, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So this game was nominated in 4 or 5 categories, including Game of the Year, which it did not win. But it's so genre breaking because they had it in Best Fighting, they had it for Game of the Year, Best Family Game, and I can't remember the other one. But for it to go all over, usually like the ones that are in contention for Game of the Year, I would not consider to be family games. They typically aren't.
Not really. I mean, God of War was last year. That's way not a family game.
And you don't normally see fighting games in contention for Game of the Year.
No, but Smash is a different beast. I mean, you have your Mortal Kombat, you have your Street Fighter, you have your Tekken, and
Dead or Alive, and
you have all those, but nothing compares to Smash. I mean, I know going to college here in Ohio, there's literally a whole it's kind of like a lounge area, common area, where kids still play Smash on the GameCube, going hard as all get out. Still, I mean, this game is so popular. It's not like a Mortal Kombat where, you play it for a little while and then, all right, you kind of put down the controller unless you're...
Smash, though, the new Smash, more specifically, gave back to the fans everything that they wanted.
Oh, for sure.
It gave people finally a reason to stop playing just the GameCube version and to pick up a new version because it has all the stuff that you like from the other versions of the game and all the stuff that you didn't like tripping and stuff like that, out of the game. They even gave you the ability to use your old GameCube controllers if you want to use your GameCube controller because that's the controller that you've been playing with for 15 years. Yeah. They sold new GameCube controllers. So, this is the game, right?
It gave you back, yeah.
This is the remastered, final, Ultimate Edition, Grandmaster, Daddy Edition of Smash. In full 1080p... full online capabilities with a full-on story mode that actually would take you 20 plus hours to get through. This is the game.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And I'll put it this way, guys. Pick this game up. This is another one with the Switch that you just cannot go wrong about.
It's definitely a must-buy. And I wouldn't say that about a lot of games that get a lot of recognition, like Fire Emblem and such. You either are going to love a game like that or you're going to hate it, but it's not for everyone. And I feel like Smash is one of those games that, like you said, it's got that party game element where if you're not into fighting games, you can pick that thing up, smash buttons on the controller, and have a good time with your friends.
Oh, exactly.
But if you are the type of person that wants to be meticulous and study a character and get good at it, you can. There's that for you, too.
Yeah, for sure. And, I mean, the other 2 games, before we kind of dive one more deeper into the best RPG of Fire Emblem, that is a game that is not for everybody. I will admit it's not for everybody, but if you're looking for a Final Fantasy, I'm trying to think of the Final Fantasy, but a turn-based type game, it's really good.
It's definitely on par with, I'd say, the old Japanese RPGs of Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana.
Yeah.
A lot of the old Square Enix games,
Yeah,
right?
so if you're looking for a game that is going to take you hours on end to beat,
I haven't finished it.
yeah,
I
hours on
want
end.
to,
Yeah.
but I have not. Well, you remember one of our first episodes, I talked about it in pretty good detail. And I told you that the thing that a lot of people loved about it, and that even the Fire Emblem people picked up on, was the social aspects of the game. They put in as much having to interact with the characters socially, so you actually care about them, and the conversations that they have. So that way, if you have set on the game mode where the characters are permadeath, you are upset if that character dies, because you're like, I've spent weeks sitting there, like trying to get this dude to be friends with this dude or whatever, and then now they're dead. So it's not. I mean, the strategy part of it's there. It's very paper rock scissor-ish. But now I guess your stats matter, and it's a good game, and it looks great, and the cutscenes are amazing, and the music is good. But again, it's not for everyone. Not everybody likes that type of game.
Yeah, and it's like anime Hogwarts.
Oh, it is. It pretty
Yeah.
much is. You nailed it. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what it is.
The Devil May Cry 5, I think, was a little shocking for me because I didn't know which action game was all up there, but I thought that was a good one.
Call of Duty was in there. There was a couple others. Sekiro was in there. So, it's... I don't think Smash, but Devil May Cry is...
It's one of I would say it's one of my personal all-time favorite trilogies as far as like action.
The first three.
Yeah, because
I never played the first three.
As a person that, I mean, I like Dark Souls, I like Bloodborne, I like those type of games. Devil May Cry is like the easy version of it, where it's more of like sweet movement.
I heard it was very like, okay, so when they did Bayonetta,
Okay.
that Devil May Cry was an influence on that. So they
sure.
were like, let's make a game kind of like Devil May, but Bayonetta, and I love Bayonetta.
Yeah. And this Devil May Cry is a sweet game. Like I said, if you could buy this game just to watch it, like the move set, the way you slice and dice through these minions, like it's not like a Dark Souls where it takes like, oh, I gotta hit him 45
Well,
times.
here's the beauty of it. I just picked this game up. I haven't installed it yet because it's on sale right now because of the Game Awards for, I think, the Super Mega Deluxe Edition for $19.
Yeah.
So if you're like, I
got
$19.
$19.
So he recommends the first three. I never played them, but it is this very,
No.
how would you say, stylized?
It's a very style fighting swordsman game. It is sweet.
It's
Trust
flashy.
Me. Yeah. I mean, if you guys are looking for a $20 game to pick up just to kind of grind through a little campaign action, this is the game for you.
It's $20, guys. Come on, you guys spend $20 on
Microtransactions,
way dumber things. Stop buying mobile games and buy real games.
Yep. But the last one, the big shocker, because
Yeah.
it took on some of the head honchos of just solo RPG games itself. Disco
Elysium.
Elysium. Okay.
So this isn't done in the style of the traditional Baldur's Gate and the sort of isometric top-down RPG style games, with a bigger emphasis placed on dialogue and not combat. There are some combat sequences, I guess, but it's not a combat game. And you mold your character, from what I understand, who is a detective, and you're not even like a buff detective, you're kind of like a middle-aged, overweight detective. You make RPG decisions. Like, there's a whole story, a whole game based around you interactions with people, and then you also can solve crimes. Like, so I looked at the art style, and it looks interesting. I actually ended up picking it up on Steam because I think the only place you can play it right now is PC. But I heard that because it got such hype, it's going to be eventually ported to the PlayStation and the Xbox and probably the Switch. So why is this game such a big deal? This is an indie dependent game. This is not a major studio game. This is a very small company game who put this thing out. Now, I don't know about their other previous stuff that they've done.
Yep.
But you're talking about a game that came out of nowhere. I'd never heard of it until the Game Awards. I had maybe saw an ad for it and kind of just went right past it because I'd never heard of it. And the name's weird. I mean, it doesn't sound like something I would play. When I play RPGs, I play stuff like with sword and sorcery and dragons and stuff. That's what I think of when I think of RPG. Even as weird as Final Fantasy and like robots and stuff. Like, I'm cool with that. But like, to play a game where you're a detective and it's an RPG, it sounds boring.
Yeah, for sure.
But the art style does look cool. The game is not on sale right now. So why is this game such a big deal? It came to the Game Awards. It was nominated in 4 categories, and it won in every category it was nominated in. So bravo to those people. But winning Best RPG, I would say, is its biggest crowning achievement because it went against games like Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah.
I cannot. The other ones are escaping me right now. I cannot think of it.
But I think what the big thing for me personally is the fact that you took a game that I'll be honest with you. If you probably walked up to anybody, what's Disco
Elysium? Yeah.
What is it? Nobody could tell you.
Nope.
And this was a game. I would say this was like an upset.
Yeah.
In a way, because you have games like staples like Final Fantasy and all that, and this game came out of nowhere and won. So that was like, to me, that was probably the biggest shocker of the award ceremony.
Actually, I got my list. What did it go against? So in the same category with it, it went against big hitters like Final Fantasy XIV, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Monster Hunter World Iceborne.
Yep.
Like, these are big franchises.
Oh, for sure.
Like, huge, big, gigantic franchises. And Final Fantasy XIV is one of the highest, like the new expansion, Shadowbringers, is one of the highest praised expansions of an MMO ever.
Yeah, I watch. Oh my god, it's gonna bother me. Max, it's like Maximilian or something like that. Max, whatever. He does a lot of the RPG type games. He's a big person on those. But he plays a ton of Monster Hunter, and I'm like, you make Monster Hunter look fun. Like, I've played Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I have to.
And I'm like, you make this game look amazing. But
I just don't think we get it, right?
There must be something that we're doing wrong.
We have to be.
That everybody else is just doing right.
Because you watch some of these other streamers play Monster Hunter Worlds,
and they look like...
And they are having a blast. They're going through and just smashing these monsters and hitting them with these great combos and stuff. And I'm like, I found the button that lets me shoot.
Yeah, but trust me when I say this game is hard. Like, these guys may be smashing monsters and stuff like that, but it is still very difficult.
Monster Hunter World is a great game.
Yes.
And I at some point when the new expansion goes on sale, I'm gonna pick it up because they got my pre-order money, and we played it a lot when it first came out.
It's beautiful. Like, it is a beautiful game.
Yeah.
The whole environment that you're in and the different zones and stuff like that, it's a beautiful game. You guys...
And I do want to get into it again, but honestly, for Monster Hunter right now, for me, I'm playing... Can't even believe I'm going to say it. Dauntless. I've been playing Dauntless.
And for those reasons, I'm out. I'm just kidding. It's like Shark Tank in here.
Dauntless is actually pretty fun. And it's free. So, I spend enough money on games, so...
Better start playing. But, can we get a drum roll, please? Just like...
So for those of you who did not watch the game awards, the game of the year, and the other games that were in the category included
it's like a long drum roll.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Resident Evil 2, The Outer Worlds, and Death Stranding.
But your winner?
But the winner of the Game of the Year awards this year was Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Shadows Die Twice.
So congratulations to From Software for Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
It's gonna sound great on the rebroadcast, guys. Just trust me.
Yeah, you're gonna hear all that drum rolling over the microphone. But man, is this game freaking hard!
All I gotta say is you feel like a legitimate ninja when you are flying around the map. I can't get enough of the gameplay, and
I like to watch this. This is one of my favorite games to watch.
Oh, dude, it's so sweet. I mean, you have people getting so frustrated and I absolutely love when people get mad when they play games. But like the whole like combat, it's very smooth. You feel like a legitimate samurai.
Yeah.
I mean,
the death system's really unique too, right? So the world around you changes the more times you die, and you have to like basically kind of cure the world around you by being better at the game. So you either get good or you have a hard time doing much of anything.
Noob.
But yeah, I thought what was really cool about it was how humble that the guys that made the game were when they got up to the award, and they talked about how they were aware of how many complicated systems are in the game, and that this game would not appeal to the masses, right? But they said you guys did. I mean, and beating out a game which I personally don't even really know what Death Stranding is even about. I know that it has something to do with a baby, and Norman Reedus is in it, and he looks very sad through most of it. and it looks beautiful. It looks like a beautiful game, and when it's on sale, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to try it out and see what the hype is.
Yep.
It's not a $60 game for me because I don't know anything about it. I've heard reviews, but that doesn't tell me enough. In my opinion, not knowing what the game style and the play is going to be like makes me hesitant to pick it up.
Sure.
But Sekiro, I've played.
Yeah.
That game is brutal.
Oh, yes, I've seen you play
Brutal.
it. I've seen you play it, and it is hilarious.
We were looking through YouTube today, and you're like, hey, this guy has a world record run of beating Sekiro in 21 minutes.
21 minutes and 46 seconds.
And I'm like, I didn't get out of the first building in 21 minutes, right? And I could see the door.
Yeah. The only objective was push
Just
door.
all I had to do was just walk through the door.
No, Sekiro is a beautiful game, guys. If you guys are looking for a game that you want to feel like a true samurai, and there's actually a cool feature. If you try to cheat in this game, like the one dude, he found a way to get on top of it almost looked like a wall. So he kind of found a way to exploit the game, and it gave him an error and actually gave him a death. But in the death thing, it said, why would you try to? What kind of honor you get by cheating? And basically called him out for cheating. And
I think that's awesome.
So it was a neat little feature that's in the game. So
they had a lot of trailers, they had a lot of news and announcements, and that's the biggest reason, honestly, why I watch the Game Awards. It's cool to see the recognition. It's really fun for me because I want to say that this is the first year for me personally. And if you had watched the hosting party, a couple of the people that are on right now actually did come. Julie and Jason come and checked it out with me. I think Janet watched it for a couple minutes, but it was on kind of late, so most people went to bed. But I was making predictions in the channel when the category would come up. And for a while there, I was 100% right. Every time I was like, this game deserves it, but this is the game that's going to win. And I think I said at the very beginning of the show, I said Resident Evil 2 is deserving of Game of the Year, considering who it's going against. I said, but Sekiro will win. Hands down, Sekiro 100% is going to win.
yeah.
Makes me feel comfortable in my game knowledge to be able to make.
Well, you buy enough,
like
you
that.
should be pretty good at something.
It's not just buying
I
it,
know.
though. I mean,
It's playing it.
I
it's
feel
the
like
overall gameplay,
this year especially, I feel more knowledgeable about what has been coming out, what things people are excited about.
It's the podcast.
Well,
It
that's
helps.
kind of why we started doing the podcast, was because we didn't see enough content.
We wanted to share with you what we know.
We didn't see enough content that we would want to see. And we wanted to see a show that, one, was just kind of fun and it gives us a reason to hang out, but also because we wanted to. There wasn't a podcast talking about all the stuff that we wanted to know about.
Yeah.
So we said, well, if they don't have one, then we'll just do it.
If you build it, they will come. All right. Kind of another honorable mention before we actually air the first ever premiere of our new commercial.
Yes, the new commercial.
Big shout out to Shroud. Congratulations on winning Content Creator of the Year.
That was the Fortnite guy, right?
No, that he played Fortnite, but
who is the
he's-
kid that won Fortnite?
That's Booga. So that's Player of
Okay.
the Year or something like that.
So the young kid that won the one trophy. That's not the same guy.
So Booga, yeah, it's a different guy though. So that's
Okay.
Booga. He plays Fortnite, mains Fortnite. He's a Fortnite pro. Shroud is a variety streamer that streams mainly FPSs. He played PUBG. He played Fortnite. He played pretty much everything: Counter Strike, Call of Duty, all that stuff. He's a shooter god in the world of gaming.
Yeah.
Anybody that knows Shroud knows that he is the don't go against him in a gunfight.
I think my biggest gripe of the whole evening was the best ongoing game, and I believe Fortnite won, but it went up against games like Final Fantasy. Warcraft wasn't even mentioned, and Apex Legends, and I feel like all those games are more deserving than Fortnite. I like that Fortnite
Not Apex.
is popular. I appreciate that. It's not for me, but I appreciate it. They do a lot. Their events
Yeah.
are neat, but man, you're talking about a full-on, full-fledged 100-hour plus experience campaign, and they keep adding more content to it all the time.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, how could you beat that?
So I think the only reason why it won, and being honest, is the events in Fortnite are beautiful.
They are.
I mean,
their end of the world black hole thing was pretty cool.
You had your first ever live concert in a game. Marshmello performed live in the game. So that was kind of neat. I mean, all the stuff that you are seeing and stuff like that is amazing. It's amazingly done. It's beautifully done. The Star Wars thing, even though it had some bugs kicking people out because the servers were just flooding for everybody to see this event. Fortnite, I think, wins on the events. I mean, it breaks boundaries. in games. When did you ever think that you were going to be in a video game and they were going to have a world premiere of a Star Wars movie in the game?
You know, that's why I can't hate on the game. Because,
No, you can't. You have to respect it in a way.
Even though I think that the gameplay is dumb, and I think that 90% of the content creators for Fortnite are not entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, there is still that like cream of the crop, that 10% that they do make entertaining videos, and they've taken something that is basically a beta test and turned it into a full-fledged gaming experience. And like I said, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
When I thought that there were other games that were deserving. I mean, even Destiny 2 is listed in that category, and I feel like those games are they're better done. They're more polished to them.
Destiny would be in the last on my list for a vote because I just hate how Destiny did it. I mean, Destiny has probably the awesome campaign. Awesome, beautifully done.
Oh, single player campaign.
But the
Beautiful.
fact that you could finish the game so fast.
Here's what Destiny 2 reminds me of, and I don't know that you played it, but I know your dad played it with me. Knights of the Old Republic, not just the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Not Knights of the Old Republic, the MMO.
Yeah.
The single player experience was like 30 plus hours of awesome content, cool cutscenes. Like you get your spaceship and it's sweet, right? You're learning how to use the Force. You get a lightsaber or you're a bounty hunter, and you're like, yeah. And by the end of it, you're like, yeah. Now let's go and actually do the PVE content and run the dungeons and stuff. But by the time you get to the end of it, you just don't care anymore. It was the best single player multiplayer game I ever played in my life. They're trying to sell you this experience to go out and experience this game with other people, and by the time you get to the part where you want to go do the stuff with the other people, you don't care anymore.
Yeah,
like you're done playing.
You're not wrong. That game was so good. I mean, when you got your horse essentially in the game,
your spaceship it was freaking cool.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
But yes, congrats to Fortnite and I'm sorry, Shroud. Was that his name, Shroud? Congratulations to those guys. But now we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the other premiere stuff that they talked about, like Green Day's got a Beat Saber pack coming out, and you know I'm a Beat Saber fan, so I'll probably pick that up. But they also performed live at the show, and it was good. The performance actually was pretty good.
Yeah.
They said that they won 5 Grammys, which I have to believe that fact. I didn't stop to Google it, so I'm just retelling you what they said.
Yeah. By the way, guys, quick shout out, just kind of. It's kind of out of the random, but thank you guys all for that are watching the watch party from my Facebook. I appreciate it, guys. Got a few faces in there, and also Janet, thank you for the like, and Michael, thank you for the like. You guys are number one.
You guys are who we do this for.
We're gonna be like Jingle All the Way. You're my number one customer. Blah 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 blah. All
right. So let's talk about the since you're kind of into D&D now. Let's talk about the first trailer that they showed for the new game that's coming out from the small studio that Wizards of the Coast bought, Dark Alliance.
You ready to talk about Dark Alliance?
Let's talk about Dark Alliance.
Okay.
Now, normally I would play a video here, but the video trailer for this game was shot like it was on a GoPro, even though it was all
parkour.
Like it was cinematic, it was CGI.
Yeah.
And it looked terrible. It was nauseating. It was at a breakneck speed. It was probably one of the most disappointing trailers for a property that I am actually excited about. The name Dark Alliance, I'm thinking harkens back to Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, which we loved. They described the game as a hack and slash single player or multiplayer co-op experience. I think it's going to be third person. It won't be isometric like Diablo. I'm looking forward to that part, but I'm going to need to see some gameplay because the video that they showed sucked. It was terrible. It gave me a headache and made me nauseated to watch it.
Yeah.
So why is this exciting? This is one of the first D&D games to come out in a while.
Since Neverwinter. Yeah.
Since probably Neverwinter.
Yep.
And D&D is the most popular that it's been ever.
Oh, for sure. I mean...
It's
constantly growing, yeah.
They need to get on this, right?
Get on the cash cow.
You have all of these great stories that you've already done. You don't even have to come up with new crap. You can regurgitate modules and adventure books that you guys have already published, turn it into content, and put it out there, and we will buy
Imagination.
it. Look at Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 and Icewind Dale and Planescape Torment and Neverwinter Nights, right? People are still playing those types of games.
Oh yeah.
Because Divinity and Divinity 2 and Pillars of Eternity and the other one which the name escapes me, but those types of top-down adventure, Disco Elysium is based in that, right? Give us more games like that. We'll play them. They're still popular.
Yeah.
So, but I do like the action event. Like Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance was a lot of fun. But by the time that I got to like the higher level, my mage could just like continually cast ball lightning and kill everything on the screen. So it was sweet.
So we need to see more on Dark Alliance before we can make a final judgment on what it's gonna be like. Got to see more. But the trailer that has me the most confused / hype is Magic Legends.
Magic Legends. So, wow.
Yeah, as you guys can see up there, up above us, that's the trailer for it. It's going to be playing no sound. So
there's no sound.
We don't want copyright.
If you want to hear the sound, that's cool. You can
just look it up on Magic Legends.
I think you can pause the video at some point and see the link. So what is Magic Legends? I'm going to let you describe to them what it is, because I feel like I've talked a lot today.
Okay, so Magic Legends is essentially going to be, it's a MMO RPG that it's going to take you through the world of the Planeswalkers. So anybody that doesn't know what a Planeswalker is, it comes off the game, the Magic the Gathering card game. You know, you have Chandra, you have Gideon, you have so many, Elspeth, all of them. So
here's the thing about Planeswalkers. If you don't know what a Planeswalker is, by the end of next year,
you'll know.
Even if you've never played Magic,
no.
Even if you've never heard of Magic, and honestly, if you're watching this show, you have heard both.
Yeah.
But you will know. One, because a game like this is going to be probably a big deal.
Yeah.
And two, they're doing the animated series for Netflix. And guess who is writing / directing that series?
I don't know.
A couple of guys you may have heard of called the Russo brothers.
Yep.
Who did the Avengers movies, the Infinity War and Endgame. So this is going to be like a big deal. Believe me, Netflix is going to advertise the shit out of this.
Yeah.
It's going to be everywhere.
Yep.
And if it's even half as good as the Castlevania series that was put out, or some of the other cartoons that they've done, you're gonna know what it is, because they have this intellectual property that they've done very little with in the form of digital and multimedia. It's been cards and let the cards sell themselves. They tried books, and that sometimes works and sometimes it doesn't. And I'm not crazy about some of the spin-off games. Some of them have been okay, but most of them have been unfun. They don't give you that feeling of playing Magic. I think that this potentially could succeed because, like you said, you're a Planeswalker.
Yeah.
So
no, you're just in the world. It doesn't say it doesn't say what you're going to be. Like
you're a
I
Planeswalker.
Said, this is the most confusing / what are they going to do with this? Because anytime you have an MMO RPG, you are going to go up against the juggernaut of all time, World of Warcraft. How good
do you beat it?
How do you beat it? So, are we going to see a new contender for the top spot?
My only concern with this is the studio that's putting it out. It's Cryptic Studios.
Oh, Cryptic, yeah.
And they are the studio that does Neverwinter. Now, there's nothing wrong with Neverwinter if you don't mind microtransactions. And I don't like that for even basic game functions. So if you want more bank space, you got to give us money. If it was just cosmetic stuff, I don't mind that, because when I play Elder Scrolls, I don't feel like the microtransactions are crammed down my throat. No, I don't feel like I have to buy them.
It's just to make you look cool.
Yeah.
You could have the worst gear in the game, but like you could be rocking the worst gear. Like I'm saying, like starter level, so like you're kind of like a rope. You could be like looking like you're like a level 1000, like
you're looking like super sweet with your fire sword, and
you look like the guy from Spy Kids. You know, I'm the guy.
Now they said that this game is you definitely are playing a Planeswalker. You 100% are doing that when they first originally talked about it. Now, how they're going to translate that into an MMO, I'm not really sure.
I'm curious to see.
I like, we have not seen gameplay.
Yep.
And as you can see in the cinematic, it's very stilled, and they're kind of showing some of the potential planeswalkers I'm assuming that you could create, because none of these are actual planeswalkers.
Yeah.
The only one that kind of looks like it might be like an actual planeswalker is the guy that kind of looks like Jace at the very end. But yeah, I mean, there's werewolves and like it's interesting.
Goblins, yeah,
but
it's going to be a fantasy type.
gosh,
So-
just give me a monthly thing, or charge me for the game, whatever, and I don't want to have to deal with all the microtransactions. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
If you want something like this to succeed, the Magic Arena formula, even though I know it's a different type of game, works. Because you spend money on stuff that, like, you can't buy individual cards. So having $1 million is great, but you still...
Might not even get the card
you might not even get the card you want, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, just...
Do your best.
We got to see some gameplay
Yeah.
on this. Because this thing, they've been talking about this game now for 4 years. And this is the first we've seen anything of it.
For sure. And, I mean, that kind of brings us into the next, like I said, these are all teasers, guys.
Yeah, these are just teasers.
These are no gameplay, so we are just, I mean, kind of going on a whim here, so just trying to figure out what all is it going to entail and stuff like that, so please bear with us. But the next one is Godfall. Another beautifully, it looks sweet, just, I mean, it's by Gearbox, which is a great company. I mean, isn't that the company that makes Gears of War?
No, maybe. I'm not sure. I know
Okay.
I know that they do Borderlands.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, you're going to be looking at another top-tier game. So many good games coming out in the year 2020. You really can't go wrong. Like, we're ending this year with, like, such a high note, and then going to be bouncing right into next year with just, I mean, legitimate bangers of games, just 10 out of 10 games just coming out left and right.
And they've slowed down. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, they've slowed down a lot. Sony and Microsoft haven't put out hardly any.
Yeah.
And if you notice, we haven't made any mention of the new Xbox, the Xbox Series X.
You mean the PC?
It's not because I'm an Xbox hater. It's just I thought that their trailer was dull.
Lackluster,
I
yeah.
thought it was uninspiring. And
It's going to be forever a meme. I mean, it's a meme on the internet right now. What the Xbox
honestly,
looks like.
when I first saw the ads for the Xbox One,
Yeah.
I was like, that was a cool trailer. That, I mean, I'm not buying one, but it's still, I respect it. I go, yeah, that's pretty cool. So why is Godfall a big deal? Well, for one, it's a brand new IP. It's coming exclusively next holiday season, for PC and PS5. So you can't get this on an Xbox. Sorry, guys. It'll be on, I think it's actually going on the Epic Game Store.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to even be on Steam. It's going to be exclusive to those. Now, don't quote me on that. That might change.
Yep.
But it looks cool. I'm not even sure exactly what's going on in the game, but it looks neat.
So another game we're just gonna have to wait and see, guys.
I already kind of have a feeling because the producers and the guys that came on, they kind of told you what it was like.
Yep.
They said it was sort of a first person. They said they're hoping to do for this style of game what like shooters do now. So instead of having guns and stuff, you have like bows and swords and it's first person. I don't know if it's Skyrim-ish.
Yeah.
But they said it is multiplayer. You can jump on with your friends and play around. I just hope it's not another Destiny.
Yeah. So expect this game. They said holiday of 2020, and I don't know if you guys saw it, kind of going through the trailer here. PlayStation 5 and PC.
And PC.
So PlayStation 5 will be out when this comes out.
I'm
So
assuming this is probably going to be a launch game.
I would be happy with that. And all I got to say is just looking at this trailer, it looks beautiful. So I'm excited to just look at the game. I'm excited for the story. Hopefully it lives up to the hype.
Like, I think my favorite part of the whole trailer is that at the end there where it looks like some Hydra or something coming out of the sky. It just gives you like that weird like Godzilla feeling, and I'm excited. It looks cool, but I don't want another. I have a feeling it might be more along the lines of Borderlands, which is fine. If it follows the route of Borderlands, where it's like a hack and slash loot fest with your friends, it's going to be great.
You'll do just
It'll
fine.
be fine.
Yep. But kind of moving on, because that is probably all. That's all of our teaser / Game Awards stuff that we're going to talk about.
So
today.
now we're all done with the news, right? And it's been a week.
Yeah.
Like it's been a week, guys.
Whew. I feel like I just got a full-on workout. But guys, we are actually going to take like a quick little break. But in the meantime, it's like a 2-minute and 30-second trailer.
Is it that long?
It's our commercial, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like it's not really that long.
We are going to be airing our commercial, so you guys have a little break. You guys can watch something semi-funny that we find funny. It may be the dumbest thing you guys ever seen. but that doesn't matter because we get to make the rules around
because and we made it, and you have to watch it.
Yep. So we're gonna be turning over to our commercial, and we'll be back right after.
We'll be back in like less than 3 minutes.
So we'll be here.
This is a world premiere. No one has seen this except not in the finished form.
No, nobody knows.
No one has seen this. Just me and you. We're the only two.
Yep. So we bring to you the title of it, breaking news.
Breaking news.
So we're gonna mute the mic, guys, so you guys don't have to hear our side conversations
while we're over here weeping about how awesome it is.
Yep. All right, guys. See you soon.
This is Channels Television's breaking news.
Good evening, folks. We interrupt your social media scrolling to bring you live coverage from the murder scenes up at Camp Crystal Lake. Vera Coach is on the scene. Vera Coach, are you there? Can you hear us? Are you out there? What's going on, man?
Thank you, Nictus. This is Vera Coach reporting live from the scene, where we have 3 murdered victims, still no suspects, but hey, we're getting there. And as we talk with police, you can see from the house over here. Come get the shot, come on. Jason. Do you know what happened here? So, we're obviously still looking at the house with the 3 murdered victims. We got Jason here, live with the interview. Can you give us any word of what may have happened here? Jason doesn't like to talk much. He might be a little camera shy. Sorry, folks at home. Can you tell us anything? Anything at all? Have you been watching Those Two Nerds at 4 o'clock Eastern on Sunday? You heard it here first, guys. Jason watches Those Two Nerds, but still no suspects. Stay tuned for more breaking news.
Wow, that's powerful journalism, folks. Thanks, Vera Coach, for risking life and limb, getting that killer exclusive first ever interview of Jason Voorhees, basically confirming what we all knew. Those Two Nerds are awesome. So this is Nictus from Those Two Nerds saying, go watch us live, 4 o'clock on Sundays. Have a good night.
Come on, guys. That was pretty good. I mean,
we know we can't hear you clapping, but we can feel it.
Yeah. I mean, all I gotta say is that just goes to show that whole iPhone shot on an iPhone 11 commercial is a lie. Yeah. They're imposters.
Yeah. They use real cameras because we shot on an iPhone.
But we did our best, guys. Until we get a better camera, those are how the commercials have to go sometimes.
I don't know what the problem is. That looked fine. The worst part was the filming that we didn't hear, which it always looks bad when we try to record on that camera. But what ifs?
Hey, we did love it. Thank you. We appreciate it.
See, Janet loves it. Thank you, Janet. We can hear you. We can hear the tears falling out of your face right now.
Yeah.
Oscar, maybe.
I mean, Grammy, possibly. But we're gonna move into our final and last.
Speaking of that, we are out of promos. We need to film some more.
We're out of promos, guys. But
we're out of promos, but we're gonna roll the crap out of those.
Yeah. But kind of moving on to our last segment of the day. This is my week.
This is your week.
You know, I let you do all the talking early because I know I'm gonna do a lot of talking here.
He was supposed to do this last week, but he was not prepared.
Was not. You got me there. But moving on to the top 5 Christmas list for your loved ones. We are going to roll it first at number 5. We're going to go.
Now, is this the actual?
This is my order.
This is your order. Okay.
Number 5 is going to be Warcraft Classic. Okay. So Warcraft Classic, as you may not know, if you have not heard about this game, you are crazy.
All too easy.
Just going to say that because I mean this game is everywhere.
It's like really old.
It's the game. But Warcraft Classic takes you back in time to when World of Warcraft first released, just before Burning Crusade. That's what patch it's on. You guys can play from all your beloved starting characters with the old graphics. I mean, it's updated a little bit.
No Worgans, no Goblins,
no
Draenei,
no Death Knights,
no Blood Elves.
Yeah. No pandas walking around.
So why this game? Why is this on your list?
So this game made my top 5 just because of the nostalgia. I grew up playing this game. I don't even know how old I was. I mean, it came out like 15 years ago.
How good is that cinematic trailer? I took the original one.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, this game is amazing for a game that came out so long ago and still gives you that same chilling factor of just the grind and how rewarding games are when you put the time in. This is the game for you. So the nice thing about this is you get this game as long as you have a Warcraft subscription.
Yes.
So if you have one, it's $15. It's $14.99 a month, and you get the option of both. So you can play retail, which is the current WoW we play in, or you can switch over to classic. You can play either, or you have subscriptions to both. You don't have to pay for dual subscriptions. So guys, seriously, this is the game. If you have a lot of free time or just looking for a game just to grind and bring back the nostalgia of Warcraft, seriously pick this up for your loved one, family member. Get them some game time because they will love you for it.
Now, we spent a pretty good amount of time when it first came out.
Yep.
But you guys were in a race to get to 60, so you can get to a bunch of content that we can't run because Feral Druids can't raid and Shadow Priests can't do anything. But it is fun. It also, if you've never played any other version of WoW, I feel like this one will make you appreciate the genre.
It makes you appreciate it, and it kind of gives you that sense of this is why this is the number one MMORPG still to this day.
Now, if I was introducing a new player to WoW,
I'd make them play retail.
I would make them play retail before I would make them play this, because just the quality of life improvements, the graphical improvements,
some of the nice things that they have added.
The other thing I think is going to be really cool, and I've been kind of holding off because I've been thinking about showing some more people to play, so we have more people to play with. But I've been kind of holding off because I'm waiting for the one patch to drop where they basically squish the levels and the stats.
Yeah, so that's going to be
soon.
That's going to be soon. That's going to be just before they launch the new expansion coming out for retail,
which is probably not till next year or the year after.
So, in my opinion, it's going to give you that feeling of retail, but also still adding all the nice features of retail WoW. So it's going to take classic, and it's like classic and retail having a baby in a way for the grind, because it's going to take a little bit longer to level up.
So you would recommend this for
anybody that's looking for an MMO to play or just a time, like it's.
So would you say play classic if you've never played WoW before, or play retail?
I know I said retail before, but classic's so fun.
Okay,
but classic is harder. So if you're looking for a more easier going MMO and like, oh, I don't have a lot of time, go with retail.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something that's going to be more of a grindier process, go with classic.
And I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
If you don't have a wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, kids, pets, full-time job, get classic.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
Yeah, for sure. But moving on down the list.
Okay. And what is your
number four?
Number four.
Four. MTG Arena, Magic the Gathering Arena. So we talked a little bit about Magic Legends. This has nothing to do with that. It only has to do with possibly some of the cards that are in the game, some of the creatures they're going to probably pull from. But this is a card-based game. Anybody that has played Hearthstone or has played the beloved game with the actual cards, putting them in the sleeve, telling your little brother that has a snotty nose to not touch them. This game is amazing. This is probably one of the best card games that are, I would say, free to play, because it is so rewarding as far as how you get cards and the overall buying system. So
would you agree that this style of microtransactions, encourages you not only to want to, but doesn't make you feel bad for investing money?
No, because my thing is when I mean, we've played Magic for a very long time. So when you were playing actually in stores for like the Star City games, championships and stuff like that, you had to buy these decks. Some decks cost $435 for a good. This is a top tier deck, which some of these tournaments you have to go with 2 or 3. So I mean, you're looking at $1,200. You're looking at an investment, and your cards are not going to be legal after like 6 months. They might, like the cards that were good, might be taken out of standard or the format you're playing in.
Well, they could even get banned.
And now your card's worth nothing. So this is by far the best way to play, in my opinion, and I think this is going to be the new way to play because
I definitely think it's the future.
it's the future.
I think they're heading that way, and I don't think that they're ever going to actually stop making Magic cards.
No, because everybody still likes the feel. It's just like if Hearthstone probably was an actual card game before, and they kind of did what the Magic is doing now, they would still play.
Because Jenna and I actually spent a good portion of the day yesterday playing Arena, like just grinding out quests and checking out the events.
It's so fun. This game, like I said, it is very rewarding. The overall microtransactions when it comes to packs, they do similar to Hearthstone. New expansion comes out or a new set. You can buy 50 packs for like $1 a pack, and it's all the new sets. So they always run like rewards, or it's like 50 packs for $40 or something like that. So where you're getting packs cheaper.
And I felt like even getting packs in the game,
it felt awesome to open.
It didn't seem terrible. I mean, I think a pack costs like 1,000 gold. They give you enough quests that I would say realistically you could open up anywhere between 10 and 20 packs a week if you do all the quests and like to grind it out.
Oh yeah, if you're definitely grinding, you're definitely going to get it.
That's if you just bought packs, you didn't play in any events.
Yeah.
And as you and I both know, that once you kind of get a grasp of the game, the easiest way to get more cards, but if you don't want to spend money, is events.
Yeah, so if you dropped, like I dropped $50 on this game, and I got a few packs to build like a good deck, but I was doing some of the events with the gold that I had, and once you, like you said, get a good grasp or you actually get pretty good at the game, you can go into these tournaments and get more gold. So like, say your tournaments cost you 600 gold to enter. You can go in, win 800 gold, you come out 200 gold ahead, so now you can buy 2 packs. You can play in another tournament and get 2 more packs. So you played for free and you got all the cards that you played with before.
Yeah.
So it's, like I said, this is a very rewarding game. And the thing that I love that they don't do like Hearthstone is that once you get 4 of any card, it actually puts it into a vault.
Yeah.
The other thing is, every time you open up a pack, it goes towards like a counter. So there's 5 types of cards: common, uncommon, rare, mythic. Okay, so 4 types. So there's 4 types in the game. It automatically, after you open up like 6 packs, you get a rare card of your choice. So if you're looking for that card, you get it in 6 packs, and that counts whether you bought the packs with gold or money,
or you drafted with. It counts your draft packs that you open up if you're playing in the events. And it was kind of like I was explaining to Janet yesterday when we were playing. I was like, you can keep just buying packs for the gold, because she had a good chunk of gold saved up because she never really bought packs with it. And I said, or you could spend like I think it's 5,000 gold to enter the one type of draft, and so you get 3 full packs of cards. You get to keep all the cards that are in it, and then if you do okay, you could get enough gems that you could start drafting for free with the gems.
Yeah. Sure.
Now, it's a lot of wins. I think you got to hit 6 wins before you get to that point.
Yeah.
But it still was like, okay, well, you could spend 3,000 gold and buy 3 packs, and then that's all the fun you had. You got to open up 3 packs of cards and you're done. Or you could spend 5 and you're guaranteed to get the 3 packs for draft, where you actually kind of pick the booster pack that you're getting, right? Because it's draft. You're like, well, I want that card and this card, instead of getting random stuff you might not want. You're picking what you're going to get.
Yeah. And
then you're guaranteed to get 1 more pack as a prize, even if you don't win any games. So you could potentially go down 1,000 gold, but you get to play in an event with other people that have the same chances of winning as you do, and you spend, I don't know, a couple hours doing that. Like, do you want to spend 3,000 gold and get 3 packs and it's over in 30 seconds, or spend 5,000, get at least 4 packs and play in a little tournament thing for at least an hour or so?
Yeah, and the other thing too was you have a chance in these packs to actually open up the forge cards that I was talking about, where if you open up a certain number of packs,
I love that.
So there's been times where I've opened up the mythic that I want. So I'm like, oh man, I need 2 of this mythic. I open up the mythic in a pack.
Yeah.
And in the same pack, I got a mythic forge card.
Yeah.
So I went out and was like, okay, well, I just got pretty much a free pack.
Yeah.
In a way. Like, there's tons of value in the game. And like I said, it outdoes Hearthstone in that aspect of...
Here's the beauty of it, though. What I like is that in paper Magic, the paper cards have value.
Yeah.
So if you go to the store and you spend, $4 on a booster pack or whatever collector's edition things they have now for $20 a pack or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of mad at them right now, but whatever. That's
took
another, that's another topic. You could potentially go and open up your pack of cards and open up something that was really awesome and playable in standard and it's worth $50 or $60 or more. But you also could open up your pack and get a card that's worth 30 cents. In this, all the cards in essence are the same value, even though some are played more. So that 30-cent rare / mythic in standard paper Magic is worth the same amount and holds the same value as the $70 Planeswalker in this. So the other thing that I liked was they just banned 3 cards in standard. Oko, Thief of Crowns, Summervale, I think, and Once Upon a Time. So one of those was a mythic, one was a rare, and I believe the other one was an uncomics. So what did they do to the people that invested in those? They gave them wild cards back for them. So if you had any of those cards in your thing, now they're still in your collection.
Yeah.
But if so, I had 4 Okos, I had 4 of all of them. They gave me 4 of each thing and wild card equivalencies back. You can't, if you open up Oko out of your pack at the local game store, you can't give it to the guy at the store.
No, he'll be like 30 cents.
And he'll be like, no, I don't want that.
I was going to say a $40 card turned into
It's still good in like other places,
Yeah.
but he's not going to swap you for, he's not going to give you that, plus let you keep the card.
Yeah, no.
So Oko is still legal in other formats on Magic, and I think everything I'm seeing leads me to believe that eventually Arena is going to be Pioneer. They're going to have a Pioneer format on there. They've already introduced historic cards. They're going to have a format that is going to be almost identical to Commander.
Yeah.
They already have like a friendly Commander format called Brawl, and now they've added another format to that called Friendly Brawl, where you can play with any of the cards. So if you don't have a large collection, you can throw together a standard Brawl deck, get on there and play and have fun with your friends.
Yep.
I wish they had more events for it, because there's a lot of memes about how no one plays Brawl, and I'm like, they
Give it
have
time. Give it
they
time.
have statistical data showing that people are playing Brawl. Yeah. So someone's playing it, whether they're playing it in paper or not, it doesn't matter. I think that they just need to get closer to that. So I got really excited when I was able to put together a deck with like the old Nicol Bolas card. Now I couldn't play it in the Brawl event because Brawl technically is standard.
Yeah.
But I could challenge you to a game, and me and you, we could play a game of Brawl using whatever cards we want.
Yeah.
So, but I did love that the cards don't hold any value. So your collection isn't worth anything.
Yep.
Your account might be worth something, but you can get in trouble for potentially selling it. So.
Yep. And so that's going to be our number 4 on the list. We kind of talked a lot on that one, but that we love Magic. We love Magic. So, all right, moving on to number 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Guys, this game is a great game for your FPS lover in your life.
Like this is the game, okay?
Yeah. Aside from all the bugs, I mean, it made top 3 for me just because of it brought back the whole feeling of COD. It brought back what us COD kids call the S&D scene. This game is great, aside from the bugs and people camping with shotguns and claymores, but it made me feel like I was playing Modern Warfare 2 all over again.
The game modes looked fun, too.
Yes. So if you're looking for an FPS, this game is still rocking the $60 price tag. Sad.
But it's cross-platform.
It is cross-platform. So say your loved one has a friend or family member that plays on a different platform. So if they're playing on PS4 and maybe your other friend plays on Xbox and you play on PC, you can play with all 3 of them using the Activision ID that you set up uniquely in the game. And you can talk, play, everything that you want. So
normally I would have questioned putting this on the list, but I know that Call of Duty is a monster franchise. Call of Duty's been a huge...
That's my life.
...part of your life.
Yep.
You know, the fact that it didn't make number 1 for you, I was actually shocked.
No.
But I think the thing that I liked about it was it kind of goes along with what we like to do, which is kind of like bringing people together, talking about stuff that we enjoy. This is the first big AAA title that I can think of that it doesn't matter if you are a PlayStation kid or an Xbox kid or a PC kid, you can play.
And it allowed people to have the unique IDs. And that's what I love, too, because I'm like, man, my name's X Foxtrot 25,000. And I'm like, no, I just want it to be X Foxtrot. Like, no, like it's... So, like, it gave you so much versatility. Like I said, bugs aside, and which, I'm going to be honest with you guys, if you guys don't know the game competitively, you won't even know the bugs.
Yeah, you won't even.
You won't even know. Like, that's in the game.
If you're playing for fun, because he was trying to describe some of the stuff to me, I'm like,
nobody would know.
I would no. That would never affect me. Okay, I'm the guy pointing down at the ground and not able to aim because I don't know where everybody's at and getting shot in the back. That's me.
So, Call of Duty number 3. Probably I would say it's like an 8 out of 10 for me on the gamer.
And like, okay, because when we got asked this, there's a lot of people that, you know, when they were talking about it, this is just one of those games, right?
Staple.
That even if you're not our style of nerd, where you are about comic books and, you know,
movies,
RPGs and stuff like that, like this is a whole other type of nerd. These are the Call of Duty nerds. They're not that dissimilar than the Madden nerds and stuff. They just don't realize that they're basically playing the same game.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, like you can't go wrong with this. If they have not picked this up and they've ever been interested in the franchise, go buy this.
Yep. It gives them that Modern Warfare 2 vibe. So try it. I got a hiccup really bad.
I don't think that they've ever
It's, like,
really
stuck.
put out a bad Call of Duty. I just think that some have been they've made questionable choices.
For a competitive, there's
Yeah,
been
that's
some
what I
bad
meant. I meant,
Calls,
but for
yeah.
the casual gamer, I don't think any of their games have been bad.
No, but kind of moving down the list to more games.
Yeah.
Because I'm excited.
We spent 45 minutes talking about Magic, and we spent less than 3 minutes talking about his life.
There's not much to talk about.
You shoot people, and it's awesome.
Number 2.
Janice says looks like a good game.
It is. It is a really cool game. The campaign, guys, I will say this. It's very, like, it's crazy. It's supposed to be a real life. Like, they took, this is how much detail they have in the game. They added trained Navy SEALs to actually do the aiming and the overall, like, so if they were breaching a house, like in the campaign, they breach it like a Navy SEAL would. So seriously, they put a lot of detail into that.
So how would this compare to, like, Black Ops 4 and Black Ops 3?
2 different games, man. So Black Ops 3 was boots off the ground.
So you're
exos,
jumping, hopping all over the air.
Yeah, climbing into walls. And then Black Ops 4 was like kind of like that. They had specialists in the game, where like grab slam and stuff like that. So
I liked number 3, but yeah, it was kind of annoying.
yeah. So but number four was just very fast paced. So it's pretty cool. This game, like I said, it is.
So they go more for the realism.
This is
in this
realism. The campaign is realism. It's like actual terrorist attacks. Kind of a little spoiler from the trailer. It's even in there. Like they do an attack on Piccadilly, which is an actual place, and they do like there's suicide bombers that run at you. So it's supposed to feel like a real thing. Some even said it's kind of like traumatizing, but it's an eye opener because it kind of shows you like real world application.
Okay.
So moving on to number 2.
Number 2.
And this is going to shock you because you're going to be like, wow, that's your number 1. Number 2, Pokemon.
Okay, number
2 is going to be Pokemon.
Number 2 is where did I put that?
It's literally right there.
Is it right here?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. Pokemon.
So Pokemon, it was if you guys tuned in last week, it is the.
You're right. That shocks me because I know what your other pick is.
Yeah. So the other Pokemon is the number 2 for me. Personally, I've played so many hours in this game. It really brought me back to the Switch after Zelda and Street Fighter. This is the game. I love this game so much. It's so cute.
When you gave me
It's a
your
cute
picks, no lie. Now I'm not going to reveal his number 1 yet.
Yeah.
But I felt like your order would have been Warcraft number 5, Arena number 4.
That's so far right. Number 1.
This game that's your number 1 at number 3. Pokemon and then Call of Duty. I really felt like that would have been your order.
All right. Yeah. No.
So this is surprising. This is waking me up. But go on.
By the way, One True Villain. Just wanted to shout out you so we didn't miss you.
Oh hey, One
What's
True
up?
Villain.
What's
What's
up,
up?
But number 2, Pokemon. It's a very cute game, very open world. It makes you want to catch Pokemon, and you
Like
actually,
worse than any other game I've played in the
yeah,
series.
you can be like, all right, well, I'm gonna go to this next gym. Which, by the way, it does not take long to get to each gym. But what takes you forever is all the times you want to stop and catch that Pokemon that you haven't seen before. There's 400, like,
I think it's 400.
yeah, it's insane.
What now? Okay, one of my biggest gripes I think with the game that I also think works in its favor is the game is very linear.
Oh yes,
It's kind of like go
Dude.
on path A and you stay on path A pretty much the whole time.
Yep. So
Did you find that less interesting than some of the other games in the
I
series?
didn't even pay attention to it. I was so intrigued by all the Pokemon in the game and like the whole overall like story. This is probably the best story in the game because it actually made you feel like you were a Pokemon trainer.
Would you have felt better about it being a little bit... Because you remember in like the original games where to get to the next town you had to use like the HMs and stuff to get through the cave or break the rock or whatever to get to the next point, or use surf or whatever. You had to kind of solve these little puzzles to get to the next area. Do you feel like you kind of missed that Or was that more like a hurdle to overcome that you didn't really feel like?
I think learning Surf and like Rock Smash or whatever it was, I thought that was just kind of unnecessary. Like, I would have been fine if you would have gave us like Rock Smash, like, okay, you beat these guys, and like right before where you're actually going to need Rock Smash, you beat a guy, like maybe it's one of your trainers or something like that. Like you beat your rival or something, like your rival's in the cave with you, and he's like, well, you beat me, but they taught me Rock Smash, so here you go. Like, that kind of thing. And, like, he teaches you Rock Smash. I think that would be cool. Now, Surf, another one of those things. Like, I think it's kind of cool how you got your bicycle in the game.
I don't miss the HMs.
Yeah.
Where you needed those to progress. I like that the Surf is now on your bike. And you can fly using the taxi service anywhere you want to. Anywhere that you've been.
It just makes the game more convenient to where...
It's a quality of life thing.
Yes, exactly. And it has nothing to do with making the game any easier or anything. Because, I mean, you had Pokemon that you had to have fly on one of your Pokemon. And it's not the greatest ability ever.
I mean, it was an okay move.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, now you don't have to.
I remember in the original series, you had a couple of things that we used to refer to them as HM slaves. And one of the best ones came out in, it was either Gen 2 or Gen 3. His name was Tropius. He's a guy that kind of looks like a brontosaurus with like the big leaves coming off of his neck. And that's because he could learn 4 HM moves. He could learn Fly because he was a flying type. He could learn Cut. He could learn Flash and I think Rock Smash. So, and there were like 7 HMs in the game. So you had to basically have 2 guys in your party almost all the time when you were out exploring just to get to the areas that you wanted to get to.
Yeah, and I like the overall trading system where you can trade anywhere in the game.
Yeah.
That makes it beautiful. And like I said, they're running events. This is the first time ever that they're having
Speaking
online.
of, we got to go get Snorlax.
Yeah, I need Snorlax.
Yeah, we got to go get that, the Gigantamax before he's gone. I ended up getting the Butterfree on accident, but...
There you go.
So we got to get the Snorlax.
And that's one of my favorite Pokemon, to be honest.
Snorlax?
Yeah.
Yeah, I often get told that I am Snorlax. Because I got like...
Dude, I was Snorlax, and I was Snorlax while you were working on stuff.
Let's see. Julia says I've logged more hours on this one than any of the other Pokemon
Many
games.
people have,
and I agree.
Many people have, by far.
I don't know. I mean, I have not. I put more in this one than I have in the last probably like 3.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Janet says this is the first Pokemon game that she's ever played, and she loves it.
Well, you made the right choice. This is probably the best game to get into.
She's got like 30 plus hours in it.
This is by far the best game you can get into as far as a Pokemon player. If you were kind of on the fence of, oh man, I kind of want to play Pokemon, but I don't want to.
Or this looks dumb, and this is the game.
This is the
one. I feel like they did it right.
Yep. So
Ultra Sun and Moon had all the characters. For the first time, you could catch them all, and that was great. But the legendary Overlax was ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there was just so many. And the end game basically was run around and catch all the legendaries.
Yeah.
Julia says she caught a Snorlax. Now, did you catch a normal Snorlax, or did you catch Gigantamax Snorlax? Because they are different.
Yep.
Because if you got Gigantamax Snorlax, I'm actually going to be a little bit jealous because I really want to get one.
And while you're deciding on which one you caught, and maybe turn it on your Switch right now to check, we're going to move on to number 1.
Okay, so we're Pokemon, again, I talked about it last week. We talked about it on the show before our top pick.
Yep.
We love Pokemon.
9 out of 10.
So I would say things that we've been pretty consistent on this year: Dungeons and Dragons, Pokemon, Magic. Those are the things. I would say those are the 3.
And those 2 nerds.
Those are the 3 like gaming things that me and you wholeheartedly 100% agree on all of the time.
Yep. And the shocker of the year is number 1.
Here is his number 1 pick, which actually surprises me because I figured it would come in at number 3.
Mortal Kombat 11. The gory Street Fighter that we all dreamed of.
It's really good, and I'm sad I haven't spent more time playing.
Yeah, the fatalities, learning the characters, everything is amazing, and I cannot tell you guys enough. This game is so much fun. Anybody that's played old school Mortal Kombat, the story is great. The overall grind fest that's actually in this game is amazing, and they fixed it from when it first came out because you would grind a lot and no reward.
Now, you were a huge MK10 fan, MKX.
I played a lot of MKX.
And I remember you telling me when you were playing MKX, because you brought it over a few times and we played it, because I told you I'm not buying any more Mortal Kombat games, because I bought the one on the 360. I feel like I didn't hardly play it at all, and it was fun. And so that was I forget them. And then they did MKX. You brought it. We played it. We had a good time.
Yeah.
But you told me that it would be really hard to outdo MK10.
MK10 was phenomenal. The way the story.
And then this one came out.
This one came out. This one gave me everything that MK10 missed, and they didn't miss much. The overall gory stabs, punch, all that stuff. I mean,
the DLC characters are really good in this one. I'm enjoying them so far better than MK10.
Yeah, and kind of going along with like the Game Awards that we talked about today, they actually are announcing the Joker is going to be added into MK.
So why is this your number one?
This one got my number one just because the overall game itself. It was a beautifully designed game where the movesets are amazing, super easy to learn. I would say this is the easiest game to learn because I was terrible at the movesets. And then I practiced for like a week on like I was playing a ton of it wasn't Scorpion, it was Liu Kang.
Yeah, you're actually pretty decent with Liu Kang.
So I was playing a ton.
We just replayed not long ago.
Yeah, so I was playing Liu Kang, and
that's what we need to do one week.
We do.
We need to do the Street Fighter Mortal Kombat challenge. Me and you will get on. We'll stream it together.
Yeah, so Liu Kang, I played him a lot, and I will say this much, guys: if you guys spend like maybe a few days just learning the movesets, just like in practice tool, you'll get pretty good at any guy. You'll learn how to play better. But that's the thing, you can't play every guy. As much as it's awesome to play every guy. Play one guy, get really, really good at one guy, and you will be pretty good at the game. And you'll beat most of your friends.
I think that's what I miss about the old style Mortal Kombat games. Especially for number 1 and number 2. Number 3 was like that too, is that I could pick any character and I was good with them. Like I knew the combos, I knew the moves. It wasn't that complicated, but it's gotten to the point now where
there's
I think
different fighting styles.
There's so many different characters.
You can't.
I don't think. I think that eventually, if you played it enough, you could know them all.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you would be as good or as skilled at all of them as you are others, because you're gonna play every character a little different anyway. Like Scorpion is really good at keeping you close but at a distance, as weird as that is, and like getting up close on you, but the overall fighting tactics are the same. Like we've discovered that the uppercut is like still the king dingling of moves, you can just catch people with that a lot
and you win.
You shouldn't be able to catch people with this telegraphed move as much as you can catch people.
You are
with
literally
it.
Crouching down, sitting there, and as soon as they jump up, they go whoop-ah.
But it's so fluid and fast.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
And it's satisfying every time you hit someone with it.
It's by far the best move in the game, without a doubt. Like that's the best move in probably any fighting game.
I am not that good at this game, but I do have fun playing it.
And it's a blast. I want to call it a family game, but obviously if you
it depends on how old your kids are in your family,
or how you feel about gore and that, because
the violence is so over the top, though.
Oh yeah,
that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, the fatalities, as long as you don't let them do the fatalities, you're pretty much fine. Because as you can see, that is one of the fatalities in the game.
That is one of Scorpion's fatalities.
Where Scorpion goes through your body and all you have is your skull, and then he throws a spear into your mouth while he kicks your head off. So, it's pretty cool.
Like, they're just ridiculous, but I love them.
Yep, so you can't go wrong with this game. This is going to top the number 1.
So, were you shocked that Smash beat out MK?
No.
And really?
Too much dedication to Smash.
Yeah. But would you say that this is probably the best combat?
Best combat, it's up there for sure.
Yeah,
easily top 3.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So, because you have to let Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat that came out, be at least in the top 3. Just because
I don't think the original combat is as good as some of the sequels. I
don't think it's as good, but you got to think. Imagine if you had the original Mortal Kombat.
I think Combat 2 is one of the better games in the series.
Yeah.
But because it expanded so much on what the original one did.
For sure. But hats off to Mortal Kombat. Number 1 of the top 5.
I'm shocked. Like,
top 5 list to buy your nerdy loved ones.
I'm actually shocked. I expected that to be around number 3.
Yep. But wow, we kind of went long today.
Not super long, but it was good. Did we cover everything we wanted to talk about? Because it was a jam-packed, action-packed week.
I feel tired.
We had the Game Awards and everything, and we definitely wanted to talk about a lot of that. And then he's like, well, I got my top 5. I'm like, this is why we were supposed to do top 5 last week. But so, it's all good.
Yeah, so kind of quick recap. We talked about all the Game Awards.
All right, let's get this bloody scene of violence off of the screen.
Just go to the no intro.
No intro?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we appreciate it. But the recap, Game Awards, all the honorable mentions that we thought honorable to talk about. We talked about my top 5. We also talked about some of the trailers that came out with MTG Legends, Dark Alliance, and Godfall. All we need to see is more info.
We want
about
to see
it.
more on these games.
Yeah, so these are just teasers, but guys, we seriously appreciate it, guys.
Man, this has been a good week.
Yeah, another good week, another jam-packed episode.
This
of
is
Nerdy.
20th episode, by the way. This is a big deal for us.
I feel like we bang out a 20 every like monumental episode. We always bang it out
Yeah, I feel like the 10th one was good, but I feel like this one was better.
for sure. We're getting better, guys, day by day. We got the fireplace. You can't go wrong with the fireplace.
Well, we're taking a little bit more time and prep before we get into it.
We got commercials. We got
we
live
have
video.
We have stuff.
Which, by the way, that commercial saved me today because I was like, man, my voice is going down the drain. I didn't even talk that much, guys. So, but guys, we appreciate it. We're going to run the commercial back one more time.
So we're running the new commercial.
We're going to run the new commercial one more time, and we're going to be moving over to the same intro that you saw with like those two nerds, like with the Zelda theme. We're going to play that for our outro. But guys, seriously, we appreciate it. From those two nerds to another nerd, we love you.
So this is Nictus.
And this is Veer Coach, and we're signing off. And if you don't chew Big Red, then fuck you. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy the commercial. Enjoy the outro. We love you.
This is Channels Television's breaking news.
Good evening, folks. We interrupt your social media scrolling to bring you live coverage from the murder scenes up at Camp Crystal Lake. Vera Coach is on the scene. Vera Coach, are you there? Can you hear us? Are you out there? What's going on, man?
Thank you, Nictus. This is Veer Coach reporting live from the scene, where we have 3 murdered victims, still no suspects, but hey, we're getting there. And as we talk with police, you can see from the house over here. Come get the shot, come on. Jason. Do you know what happened here? So, we're obviously still looking at the house with the 3 murdered victims. We got Jason here, live with the interview. Can you give us any word of what may have happened here? Jason doesn't like to talk much. He might be a little camera shy. Sorry, folks at home. Can you tell us anything? Anything at all? Have you been watching those 2 nerds at 4 o'clock Eastern on Sunday? You heard it here first, guys. Jason watches those 2 nerds, but still no suspects. Stay tuned for more breaking news.
Wow, that's powerful journalism, folks. Thanks, Vera Coach, for risking life and limb, getting that killer exclusive first ever interview of Jason Voorhees, basically confirming what we all knew. Those 2 nerds are awesome. So this is Nictus from Those 2 Nerds saying, go watch us live, 4 o'clock on Sundays. Have a good night.